So the 2023-2024 NBA season is over. The Boston Celtics won the championship this year. So now the season's over, let's go ahead and recap some of the things that happened this season. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel where I do absolutely nothing but yap. Today I'm just going to go over some things that happened this NBA season. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram or TikTok, it'll be at Jalen Brooks with 2 S's at the end, and they'll also be linked in the description below. The Boston Celtics just won the championship, and man, let me say, Jason Tatum is taking this win in.
We did it!
Jaylen Brown won Finals MVP, and let me say, I did call that from the beginning, which on paper was really an easy call considering he won East Conference Finals MVP. Hey, a win is a win is a win. Some big things happened this season, so I'm going to try my best to recap just a couple of those things. So let's start with something that happened at the beginning of the season, the In-Season Tournament. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver announced the in-season tournament for the start of this season. And if you're not familiar with the in-season tournament, I'll go ahead and explain it a little bit for you. All 30 teams are split up into 6-5 team groups. Teams will play 4 games, matching with each team in their pool once, with winners advancing to the single elimination stage. The top teams from the West and the East will meet in Las Vegas to play in the in-season tournament championship. There was not a lot of people happy that this was implemented for this season. There is some confusion on how it'll play out during the regular season, and other people just wanted something like a 1v1 or a 3v3 tournament during All-Star Weekend. The NBA would have special created courts for each team during this time, and the team's Nike City jerseys would replicate that. I'll be honest, I didn't watch a single in-season tournament game this season, and that's mainly because I didn't even really watch a lot of regular season games this year, and I was also really confused on how it even really worked. And people on Twitter and Reddit were also saying that it wasn't interesting, so I kind of just took the word for it. I didn't do any research on it on my own until I started researching for this video. But what I do know is that the Lakers beat the Pacers in the championship and that my glorious King James was named the MVP. What I will say is that I will be tuning in next season to see if my team can make it all the way to the end. But let me know how you guys feel about the in-season tournament and if there's something else you want the NBA to implement next season or future seasons. But I'm pretty sure people were betting hella money on those games, just like Jonte Porter. Need some beef. Jonte Porter plays for, or should I say formerly played for, the Toronto Raptors. Porter was issued a lifetime ban from the NBA for violating league gambling rules. The league found him guilty of disclosing confidential information to sports bettors, limiting his own participation in 1 or more games for betting purposes, and betting on NBA games. The league's investigation started on March 20th when the Raptors were playing the Sacramento Kings and Porter disclosed confidential information about his own health status to someone he knew was a bettor. A bettor would then wager $80,000 that would have won $1.1 million if Porter hit the under. Porter would then remove himself from the game after less than 3 minutes due to illness, and due to the suspicious activity, that bet would be frozen and never paid out. Licensed sports betting operations would notice this activity and would bring it to the NBA's attention, which would then end up sparking the league's investigation, finding evidence that he had made bets against himself or had involvement with anyone who bets against him. So who is Jonte Porter? He's a 24-year-old forward who played college ball at the University of Missouri. His brother is Denver Nuggets star Michael Porter Jr., who went undrafted in the 2019 NBA draft due to injuries throughout his college career, but would end up playing for the Memphis Grizzlies as well as 3 G League teams. In December of 2023, the Raptors signed him to a 2-way contract that was worth $415,000. He played 26 games for them, averaging 13.8 minutes per game and also 4.4 points per game. Me personally, I have a huge problem with sports betting in general. When the NBA announced that you can start betting on games, it would just open up a whole new problem to the NBA in general. You have betting operations literally being sponsored by the NBA and the NBA encouraging others to place bets on these games. You have NBA players getting hate messages from fans because they bet their entire life savings on this one person. And then you have players like Porter start betting on himself in games. And then you also have refs who have been accused of betting on games themselves as well. In my opinion, it's gotten out of hand, and it's one problem I hope the NBA can find a solution for for in the foreseeable future. And what's crazy is something like this happened in the MLB when Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani's interpreter stole over $16 million from Ohtani through $500,000 wire transfers over the series of years. That's an entire separate video from this, so let me know if you want me to make that video, because I would literally sit here and research the fuck out of that video. But nothing got as crazy as the hate the Boston Celtics got this playoff run. Like I stated earlier, the Boston Celtics won the NBA championship, and Jaylen Brown was Finals MVP. But I will say, I feel like more people were rooting against the Celtics in every series they played in. And the biggest question is to why? Why were they getting this insane amount of hate? A lot of fans think that the Celtics built a super team. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown both undeniably being the best players on the team, and then signing Jrue Holiday before the season started, and then acquiring Kristaps Porzingis in a 3-team trade with the Memphis Grizzlies and the Washington Wizards. Now I kind of understand why people think the Celtics might have a super team, because of all of these key pieces. But it really isn't a super team. Tatum and Brown have both been on the team since their respective draft nights. And then they acquired good players to fill the roles that needed work. I'm a Warriors fan, so I know what a super team looks like. They just have a well-rounded team, which is why they've been at the top of the league for like the past 4 to 5 seasons. With losing in the 2022 NBA Finals to the Golden State Warriors, they knew that they needed some key pieces to get back to the big stage and finally take home their first title since 2008, and then also securing the franchise's 18th title. A lot of people also say that the Celtics have a very toxic fan base. Former players and current players have spoken out about their negative experiences in Boston. Like current, once again, Finals MVP Jaylen Brown was asked if he experienced the negative way Boston fans have treated black athletes. He responded with, "I have, but I pretty much block it all out. It's not the whole Celtics fan base, but it's a part of the fan base that exists within the Celtics nation that is problematic. If you have a bad game, they tie it to your personal character." He would also say, "I definitely think that there's a group or an amount within the Celtic nation that is extremely toxic and does not want to see athletes use their platform, but they just want us to play basketball and entertain and go home. And that's a problem to me." And in May 2021, he discussed systematic racism and his experience in Boston with ESPN's Tim Bontemps. And he had a lot to say, and if I can find the clip, I'll insert it like right now. If I don't have a clip, you probably got a black screen that said, "I'm an idiot." So there's that for you. But if I can't find the video, then I'll leave the article in the description so you can go back and look at it yourself. And just also check out what he had to say and what some other players had to say as well. Black athletes have faced problems in Boston from fans for years, and it just gives a bad look on the franchise as a whole. But like Brown said, it's a specific group that can be extremely toxic. Anyways, hope you guys chose 3 topics. If I didn't hit on a point, or if you had something else that I missed that you wanted me to speak about, let me know in the comments and I might make a part 2 to this video. But if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like. If you didn't enjoy this video, go ahead and leave a like. Of course, all of my socials will be linked in the description below. Once again, I would love it if you guys subscribe to me. That'll mean the literal world to me. Last video I gained a lot of subscribers, and I love the feedback I got on that video, and it just encouraged me to make more of this type of content. But this video is over now, so adios.